My name is Duddits, I do builds and stuff. Today's video is going to feature a few things. Firstly, it's going to feature the two-piece adapter set from the Aeon gear set, where every time you get a kill, you're going to get reduced incoming damage. We're going to be pairing it up with Mint Retrograde to get some massive damage. We're going to be featuring the worm byproduct on Parasite, because with the Aeon set you can sponge that, and we're going to be pairing it up with bait and switch on the Mint Retrograde. So we're going to get some really big damage, and on top of that we're going to be pairing it up with hazardous propulsion to get some absolutely humongous Mint Retrograde damage and loads of damage reduction on the fly from the Aeon adapter gear set. Very generous bonus that you get from it. You get literally concussive dampener for free, and like I said, it enables you to sponge certain things like Parasite shots and other things in game. But we're going to be pairing up Parasite, worm byproduct, and bait and switch with hazardous propulsion. And then just as an added little bonus towards the end of the video, I'm also going to be featuring the Raid exotic Whirling ovation, how to get some humongous damage on this too with your hazardous propulsion. So stay with me, I'll break the video down. We'll start off with the Aeon adapter, the two-piece set. This is what I'm running. The final blows with any rocket or grenade launcher temporarily decrease incoming area of effect damage. It's very noticeable, and what it means by rockets, it means rocket pulses, rocket launchers, rocket sidearms and grenade launchers, and very obviously rocket launchers. Now you'll see on that bottom left, again the UI is sort of bugged, but you'll see I've got a timer. That is the Aeon adapter set kicking in. It's very generous, you get 15 seconds and you can refresh it just by getting a kill. It's basically concussive dampener, and it's very noticeable for free. Now without the Aeon adapter bonus, you'll see that I can kill myself pretty easily, probably like 3 or 4 bursts with the Mint Retrograde. And now obviously while we're talking about self damage, I'm going to pair it up with a Parasite as well. Again, I'm going to show you it without the Aeon adapter working, and I'm going to show you it with the Aeon adapter. The Parasite, as we know, it does some massive damage, but you can easily kill yourself. Look at that. That is without the Aeon adapter set. Very easily nearly kill myself. And now all I'm going to do is proc that Aeon adapter. You're going to get that 15 seconds in the bottom left, sort of mid left. And I can sponge my Parasite shot very easily with a ×20. Really good. I'll obviously show you now the self damage without the Aeon again. 3 bursts. Nearly kills me. I'm going to proc the Aeon adapter obviously, and then you're going to see like quite a big difference. It's literally like half damage. Again, this is extremely useful, but don't forget it works against all area of effect damage as well, not just self-harming yourself. Really good, like I said, for free. Now, self-damage, damage reduction covered, we're going to go to the Mint Retrograde. The one I really like to use is Rewind rounds bait and switch. Now bait and switch is going to give you a 30% damage increase when you hit everything with your other 2 weapons. So you get 30% damage increase. Absolutely huge. And I'm going to be pairing up with a hazardous propulsion. This loads kinetic exodus rockets when you get kills or precision hits. And this also buffs rockets as well. And again, by rockets, it means rocket pulses, rocket sidearms, and rocket launchers. So it's going to buff your Mint Retrograde out as well. So what we're going to do, have a look at this number, 257. I'm going to proc that. It's 35% damage increase at a ×6, all the way up to 346. So you're getting a free 35% damage increase, from your hazardous propulsion, and free area of effect damage as well. Now, bait and switch, we're going to add that onto there as well, which is another 30%. So 257, you're going to see me proc my bait and switch. And I'll also proc my hazardous propulsion, and you're going to see that number go from originally 257 all the way up to 450. So that's an additional 30% from your bait and switch, and additional 30% from your hazardous propulsion. Absolutely massive, very easily to do. Now, also we're going to stretch that even more quite easily with the Parasite, because we can sponge the worm byproduct, the explosion. We're going to stack that as well. There's another 15% we're going to see on top of that. So, everything you've seen, bait and switch, hazardous propulsion, and your worm byproduct are all going to kick in now. So, 257 was the original number. It sounds a bit boring, but bait and switch, proc your hazardous propulsion. Might not be the perfect rotation, I'm just showing you the damage increase all the way up to 517. Now 257, the original number, all the way up to 517 is 101% damage increase. Now, I haven't focused too much on Parasite as well, and obviously Parasite at a times 20 delivers some absolutely massive damage, so it's actually a really solid little setup for damage as well. And like I said before, with that ion adapter, that enables you to sponge that sort of worm explosion from your Parasite as well. Don't worry too much on my subclass at the moment, because I do change it, but I'm just in this clip just showing you all the damage reduction that you get sort of from the area of effects while you've got that ion adapter setup going. It is very, very noticeable. Really, really strong. I think it's one of the best sets in the game. I know I like my tech set gear, but just for a 2-piece bonus, it's absolutely solid. Really good. You'll see there, pop my Parasite in a minute. Easily sponge that damage. On the fly, I've got 101% damage increase via the worm byproduct enhanced rockets from the hazardous propulsion and my bait and switch all working together. Very obviously, you don't have to sponge that worm byproduct for that extra 15%. You can always do things at a distance as well. But just hazardous propulsion, bait and switch on its own is absolutely massive damage increase on your Mint Retrograde. So if you've got bait and switch or an Envious Arsenal one, that also could be absolutely insane. And in this clip here, you'll see, again, I'm going to sponge my worm byproduct. Very easy to do. And I hardly take any damage. Most of these activities was 450, 460. So you can sort of see how much survivability and how much sort of damage you could actually put out. Cauterized Darkness is another one to consider, because whenever something is debuffed by stasis or strand, all of your solar weapons are going to get an additional 30%. So you can also buff your Parasite out like so as well. Get that suspension going if you wanted to. Like I mentioned, I actually changed off a prismatic subclass to one that's going to be more suitable for endgame stuff at the end. But Cauterized Darkness is something you could add into the mix just to buff your Parasite out times 20 or your times 15 or whatever. An extra 30%. Very, very noticeable. Now, if you've got the Raid Exotic Rocket Launcher, the Whirling Ovation, this is also pretty good. Basically how this works, it works a little bit like Parasite, but it's a rocket launcher, except you have to charge it up with the anticipation. The more damage you do, the quicker this charges, and once you charge it up, it delivers a massive solar and strand weapon damage. Really, really good. And this is also exceptional with the hazardous propulsion and the Mint Retrograde, because you could do everything you've seen, except you're going to deliver a massive payload from your rocket. An extra 35% on top of there from your hazardous is extremely noticeable. Watch this health here. Dendrite just gets absolutely rinsed. While we're on the subject of this Raid Exotic Launcher, I can't wait to see what the Catalyst does. So hopefully it makes that charge time a lot faster and makes the actual charge of the rocket a lot faster. But just another option if you've got one lying about. What I did with this video is halfway through I switched to Void just because of the aspects. I've run Bastion to give yourself an overshield whenever you cast your super, or a barricade, and on top of that I'm running offensive bulwark just to keep that barricade on top, which also helps with your health stat as well, so you can keep recharging your Void overshield. I'm running Echo Vigilance, defeating a target when your shields are depleted will also give you a temporary Void overshield. Echo Persistence to make my Void overshield have an increased duration and your invisibility and devour. Echo Starvation, picking up a Void Breach or an Orb of Power is going to grant me devour, and I'm also running Echo of Obscurity. I just like this one, just get the odd finisher for a bit of invisibility, can sometimes come in clutch. I'm going to leave my aspects and my fragments all laying like so. I prefer running the Void subclass for this specific build, just purely because you're going to get that iron adapter reduction and be out in that Void overshield. You can really tank a lot of damage, especially if you're going to go with something like Parasite, just to sponge that damage even more. Really, that Void overshield is really strong on top of your Aeon adapter. So that's the video. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.